Watching Wednesdays.
What up, Uncle Sam fam? It is Random Ninja with what we're watching Wednesday. And let me tell you what I was watching on Wednesday was a director double feature. Two movies from a great director, John Lee Hancock. I keep wanting to say John Lee Murphy or John Lee Hooker, but it's neither of those guys. It's John Lee Hancock. Anyway, the first movie I want to tell you about in my little double feature was the 2019 movie Highwaymen. This movie is okay. First off, everybody knows Bonnie and Clyde. Everybody knows who Bonnie and Clyde is. You know who Romeo and Juliet is. You know who Hitler. You know who Bonnie and Clyde are. This tells the story of the guys who tracked Bonnie and Clyde down and put it into their 2-year crime spree. Because look, I get it. We romanticize these people and all. They were this, outlaw couple and all that. At the end of the day, they're killers. Okay. They robbing and killing. And this movie really does a good job of showing that, it's from like I said, it's from the perspective of the law enforcement, and they're trying to track down these killers. It's in their true course. Bonnie and Clyde are treated like celebrities, and you don't see much Bonnie and Clyde in this movie. That's what I really like about it too. They're very, they're just almost there just in essence, you know what I mean? Because it's almost like in Jaws, where they're chasing the barrels instead of barrel gang. No, it's barrel. Anyway, doesn't matter. The movie stars in the lead role Kevin Costner, who plays Frank Hamer, a retired Texas Ranger. And at this point in Texas, and this is true stuff too, at this point in Texas, for some reason, the governor had disbanded the Texas Rangers. Why, I have no idea. Like, you have the most awesome, elite freaking force in the universe, Texas Rangers, man. And you're just gonna, disband them? Get rid of them? No. So obviously the Texas Rangers did come back. And then they had a baseball team named after them that won the series. I digress. We're still living off that high, especially after this football season. Not going there. Anyway, so he's joined because he knows he's going to need some help. So he's got Woody Harrelson. He reluctantly has Woody Harrelson come along, one of his old partners from back in the day. But man, the banter between these two guys, it's great. It's worth the movie alone. But being that it's backed by history and a very famous story and a different perspective than we've ever seen from that before, very cool movie. Oh, the cars are great. These Ford V8, Henry Fords as they call them. These V8s, you forget that you see those kind of cars and you're like, oh yeah, let's take it easy with that. But then it's like, man, those things used to roll the road and stuff. So it's really great. Also stars Kathy Bateman and John Carroll Litch. So I totally recommend it. Oh, and an extra freshness about this, I believe I'm right about this. The bridge that they used to represent the Red River Bridge crossing into Oklahoma is actually a bridge that they used in Young County. That's where we're at. And over in Newcastle, matter of fact. I'll try to find out some more facts about that or whatever. But once again, really quality movie. It's rated R for language and a little bit of brutality, a little bit of blood. Because if you know Bonnie and Clyde, then you know how that goes. And if you don't know, even better. But so that's really it. It's just over 2 hours. It's a fairly long movie, but totally worth it. It goes by pretty quick. So that's my first recommendation from not John Lee Hooker, not John Lee Montgomery, but John Lee Hancock. And now for the second part of my director double feature of John Lee Hancock is the 2016 film The Founder, starring Michael Keaton. It also stars Nick Offerman. You know him as one of the greatest TV characters ever, of his era, and that's Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation. And if you never watched that show, it's a great show, and it's worth it for him alone. It'd be worth any one of the characters in it, but Ron Swanson. Anyway, if you know, you know. And also, it also stars John Carroll Lynch, who was in Highwaymen. So this movie, very interesting, because it is not about, it is, again, this is a true story also, but it's not a true story about the creation of something. It's about the expansion of it. And I'm talking about something that's synonymous with America and McDonald, the clown or whatever. I don't know how else that I need to describe McDonald's to anybody. If you haven't heard about McDonald's, wow. Okay, anyway, lucky. Anyway, this movie is about Ray Kroc, the guy. He was a milkshake salesman. He'd been a salesman of a lot of different things. This is the role Keaton plays. And he's going from town to town, and he gets this big order for a bunch of milkshake machines. So he's like, what the crap, I gotta go check this out. And he goes and checks out, and there's this restaurant just killing it, man. This fast food restaurant just killing it. Has a completely like innovative ways of how they're running their kitchen and whatnot. Pretty standard stuff we see today in the fast food industry, but back then this was like, it's never been done like this, and it just blows him away. So he talks to the owners, which that's Nick Offerman, I'm going to say it right, okay, and John Carroll Lynch. They're the McDonald brothers, and this is the first McDonald's. And he's like, man, you got to franchise this, you got to put this out. And they're like, no, we tried that, dude, and it went bad. And he's like, no, now you got me. And so, not to give you too much more about this, but this is the story of how, the reason why there's multiple McDonald's every time you turn around. Everybody in my town, we all have our individual own McDonald's. True story. We're not rich or nothing. That's how many McDonald's there are all over the place. You know, it's like whatever. There's Dollar General, Dollar Tree, McDonald's everywhere. No, legit. When I was in Houston, there was like 5 on every block. It was nuts. But I digress once again. I don't want to go too much into the story, but it also shows you one of the reasons McDonald's is not just the biggest or one of the biggest fast food chains, but also one of the biggest companies, and how powerful they are and stuff like that. It's a great story. It's really interesting. Michael Keaton, awesome in everything he does. Anyway, those are my 2 recommendations on this What We're Watching Wednesday.
Hey guys, it's Unkle Sam, and welcome back to What We're Watching Wednesdays. Thank you, James, for sharing your director double feature. Today, I'm going to be sharing an actor that I am a big fan of, and that's going to be Brendan Gleeson. He was born in Dublin, Ireland, and he's been nominated for over 100 awards. He's won 25. He's even been nominated for an Academy Award. He's best known for movies like The Guard, In Bruges, Calvary, and The Banshees of Inisherin. But I first remember Brendan Gleeson from Braveheart. He played Hamish, and so he's kind of always been in the background as far as movies go. I'm looking at his IMDb profile right now, and it's a long scroll. Over 100 roles as an actor, 1 as a director and producer. One of my favorite movies from him is In Bruges, and it does star Colin Farrell and Ray Fiennes as well. And so it's a very vulgar movie. It's just profane, really, is the best term for it. I mean, there's just a lot of profanity. I think it had more of a kind of a cult following. Me and my brother used to watch it all the time. A few years ago, those two, which they make an incredible pair, Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell, their chemistry on screen is so fun. It just works so well together. And so a couple of years ago, in 2022, they came back together and they put together, or they starred in The Banshees of Inisherin. And it is different. It's a slow burn. If you don't have any patience, you're going to have difficulty with it. But it's so smart and it's so funny. I enjoyed it very much, and I really want to suggest it to you. He was also in Gangs of New York. Played the sheriff. He had the shillelagh. Also played in Harry Potter as Aleister Moody. I recently watched the Mr. Mercedes series, which is on Max, and he's the star of that. There's 3 seasons. I suggest that as well. The first 2 seasons are really good. The 3rd season's kind of, I wanted to watch it to finish it off, but it kind of gets a little bit way out there. The whole series is pretty way out there because it is based on a Stephen King book. I did not read the book, but I enjoyed the TV show. He also played in Beowulf. He played in The Village. He also played in Troy, 28 Days Later. I just listed movies that I was more familiar with. Like I said, the guy has over 100 credits as an actor. I barely mentioned, maybe 10, maybe not even 10. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. So that's going to be my suggestion for you for this week. It's going to be Brendan Gleeson. In Bruges is one of my personal favorites. Like I said, it's so profane though. Well, I think that's going to be it. We thank you. Peace, and make sure to watch this ad from our friend TreyMan, the gamer.
Oh, okay, here we go.
We control Foxtrot.
We got a headshot. Want to see more headshots? Take out Trey again. Oh, Oakbound got away, but he did not. Facebook.com/TreyMan the Gamer. All day long. Cute. Yo. Want to see some W's? Get W's. Yo. Facebook.com. Streaming live.
Enemy soldier incoming. We're engaging at Charlie. You got
Oh,
reinforcements inbound.